Crying Freeman. Freeman, c'est le nom de code des assassins d'une secte chinoise, une très ancienne secte nationaliste. Et pourquoi Crying Freeman? Parce que chacun de ces assassins, qui ont la particularité de travailler sous hypnose, ont chacun un talon d'Achille. Et le talon d'Achille de notre héros, c'est de pleurer après chaque assassinat lorsque l'ordre hypnotique s'efface, il redevient l'homme qu'il est, c'est-à-dire ce simple potier, cet artiste. Et à ce moment-là, il se met à pleurer et les larmes symbolisent sa culpabilité par rapport à l'acte qu'il vient de commettre.
Comment c'est de supporter un film pareil sur ses épaules?
J'ai pas l'impression de subir une pression particulière. D'abord parce que c'est un cas assez unique, j'ai mes producteurs avec moi. C'est-à-dire de mon côté, beaucoup des films qui sont produits aux États-Unis et qui dépassent un certain montant d'argent, il y a une sorte de guerre ouverte entre la partie artistique et la partie financière du film. Sur ce film-là est tout autant mon rêve qu'il est le rêve de Samuel Hadida. Donc en fait, l'ambiance est très bonne parce que la partie financière et la partie artistique sont intimement liées. Et je pense que c'est un cas quasiment unique à l'heure actuelle sur le continent nord-américain.
So, what was your reaction the first time you read the screenplay, and what is this world about?
Well, actually, I've known about this character in the store for over 2 years now. Sammy Hadida told me about it, and I immediately got the comic books and the animated film, and I was totally engrossed with the story because it's about a character that is essentially a good man. He's an artist, and he just by chance gets swept up into this circumstance where he's actually out killing people and doing the most horrible things without any control of his own. So it was pretty amazing when I first read it. Yes.
Did you learn insights about Oriental philosophy, or about the way to behave yourself, I mean physically or mentally?
Well, absolutely. Once I got the role, I read as many books as I could, and I spoke to people. But the good thing is that my mother and father are both kung fu teachers, so I have a little bit of history as far as Oriental philosophy and Chinese martial arts and being around martial arts in general. So I've got a little bit of experience that helped a lot.
Quand tu regardes, si tu veux que les gens qui regardent comme toi, quand tu vois quelqu'un qui se prend, c'est parce qu'il y a de la vie tout d'un coup qui arrive. Donc si j'arrive, si tu veux, normalement un plan, tu arrives, tu as le mec qui fait clac, qui dit moteur et tout, tu as les gens autour, l'autre qui dit, le premier qui dit action, fort, pas fort. Tu vois, donc si tu te laisses aller à ça, tu te fais prendre par le mood du plateau, c'est pas bon. Il faut se créer un mood, il faut se créer une vie, il faut faire... c'est comme faire monter une sauce, tu vois, très rapidement. Ce qui fait que quand tu arrives dans le cadre, tu es vivant. Tu arrives avec une histoire. Tu ne peux pas arriver avec l'histoire du sandwich que tu viens de manger ou du thé que tu viens de boire. Donc tu es obligé de t'inventer un truc pour arriver en vie. Tu vois.
An action movie isn't something that normally I would have sparked to. Like I did this movie because of the female point of view and perspective. And the movie is really a love story with action in the middle.
Specific about the importance of the female character in this movie.
The entire film is seen through the point of view, through the eyes of my character. And to me that's very interesting because never before have I seen a movie with action that's also a love story. And never have I seen even a love story that's through the eyes of a woman, which I find very exciting. It's very exciting to play. It's a dream role for me. And it's an action movie that I think women will be interested in seeing because of that.
It began, I think, 2 years ago. It was a time that we was prepping a movie with Christophe. He was writing for me a screenplay. And one day he came in my office and showed me these incredible comic books and told me it's written in Japanese, but I'm sure it's a great story. So I said, great. So he ordered the first animated movie that just was opening in Japan, and we saw the movie in animation, and we said, wow, this is a great story. This is a great movie. We want to do that. So I said, okay, begin, write the screenplay. So he wrote the screenplay, And during this time, I have contacted the Japanese people, the authors, and the Toei, who's the producer of these comic books and animation. And they decide to come with us into the production. And 2 years after, and X a draft later, we are shooting. So it is a long way. I don't know. I told you I'm a big fan of comic book. My next project is called Rank Xerox. It also came from a comic book, and it's going to be directed by Marco Brambilla, and it's going to be a huge, fantastic science-fi movie coming from a comic book. You know, it's like Judge Dredd or Batman. It's this type of movie. This, it was for me really a type of movie that I have lots of affection. Is Asian martial art, Bruce Lee fan, John Woo action adventure, you know, all these movies that I like, I go to see, and that I am fan. So somewhere I put my touch in this type of movie, and Christophe is the right hand director to that, because he's completely, you know, he felt into this world when he was young. He has maybe 1,000 movie of Chinese Yakuza, martial art, any type of action movie, all the old-fashioned movie from America, you know. So all this make that we want to see these characters in life. Christophe is a kind of protege, if you want. When I met him 4 years ago, he was a chief editor of a very famous magazine in France. You know, there is a big fashion. It's not a fashion, it's maybe a habit, I don't know. All the big directors, you know, went into journalism, Truffaut, Chabrol, Romer, all these people, you know, after school or after work, they went into journalism, then they went into movies. So after his school, he made some shorts, and then he went to work in a TV. Then he was the chief editor, and at the time I knew that he wants to make movie, and we have the same sensibility into this story and action American movie. So I told him, great, so come and write, and we'll see what we're going to do. So he came, he began to write for me a screenplay named Trooper that we are still in development. And he wrote for me also another screenplay named Rank Xerox that Marco Brambilla, the director of Demolition Man, is going to direct next year. And he wrote Crying Freeman that he's going to direct himself. And in between, he had to direct a segment of a feature film with a trilogy named The Necronomicon, that he has been able to show us that he was a director with ID and talent, in order that the Japanese investor and our investors will say, this is a guy to follow, that I knew, but he has to prove it, and he proved it. So this is where it's at.